Okay, this is just an intro to give y'all a warning. I am not going to make sense half the time. I am going to be scatterbrained like always. But make sure to watch until the end, because this could be a life or death situation for somebody you love or for yourself. So even whenever I don't make sense, I promise, it comes together at some point. Hopefully. So please just keep watching and make sure to reach out to me if you need anything, because I love you and I'm here for you. Happy Halloween and welcome to another edition of Nobody Asked for Your Opinion, Candace. Okay, so this goes out to all of the people out there who deal with either depression, anxiety, really any kind of mental illness, any kind of comorbidity, mental illnesses, and are often told that you're not doing it right. Because I've been told that I'm not being depressed correctly, or I'm not doing something like I should be doing it. And if you don't know what I deal with, then you're gonna have to go back and watch a few of my videos, because I've explained it several times. But comorbidity, I do deal with that with mental illnesses. But I know one of my biggest problems is isolation. And by the way, yes, I did just take a shower and I did not feel like fixing my hair, so deal with it. But with me, I do isolate, and I don't really have any friends anyways. But even if I did, then they would be able to tell that something would be going on. Because I'll even post, like, I don't post on my Facebook or Instagram a lot, like, whatsoever. But every once in a while, like once a week or so, especially if I've been isolating for long periods of times like I usually do, then I'll post like a quote or a poem or something about basically how depressed I am and how alone I feel. And then we'll get those, I guess you would call them well-wishers, who will be like, well, why don't you go outside? Why don't you do some yoga? Why don't you work out? Why don't you do this and this and this and this and this? And it's like, if I could, don't you think I would have tried it? And thank you, Harley. And then so I'm just constantly being told that I don't know how to deal with things correctly. But what they don't realize is I deal with things in my own way. I am medicated for several different things, both mental, physical, everything. And I do go to therapy, and I have done cognitive behavioral therapy. I've done dialectical behavioral therapy. I've done groups for depression and anxiety. I've done it. I know how I'm supposed to help myself get through things. But somebody telling you that you're not trying hard enough is not what somebody who is in these deep depths of isolation and depression and mental illness, they don't need to hear that. We know we're not dealing with it correctly. We know that what we're doing probably isn't the most healthy, but it's what helps us get through it. If you seriously think that somebody is thinking about truly harming themselves, then obviously take action, make sure that they get the help they need. But if this is just kind of like a cycle, it's what they do, just don't tell them they're doing it wrong. Because with me, I get in these cycles where I do isolate. And I don't need people telling me that I just need to work out, or I need to go outside more, or I need to go on longer walks, or I need to do yoga, or blah, 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 blah. I don't need that How does that help? If it doesn't help, don't say it. Really, the only thing people should be trying to do if they know or love someone that does this, if they don't want to talk, then don't make them. But do know that make sure they know that they have the support. And don't wait for them to reach out to you. Really, what you should do is, if you're able, bring them their favorite drink. Bring them their favorite snack or their favorite meal. And if they don't want to let you inside, just be like, okay, well, I love you, and this is on the doorstep. Or get a DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, to them. Just make sure they know that they aren't alone. Because in these moments, it truly does feel like there is nobody. Nobody. So knowing that you have somebody who's not just going to say, well, you should just do this more, and is actually truly there to support you, and not even to support you, just to have someone who doesn't judge. Because that's the biggest thing, is we feel like we're being judged constantly. We feel like we're being judged about how, if we're having a good day, well, being judged that we're not depressed enough. If we're having a really, really, really bad day, well, we're being judged on how we deal with it. And it's constantly just people judging us all the time, that we're just not dealing with things correctly. And most of us are so self-critical as it is. We don't need anybody else telling us what we're doing is wrong, because we know. Believe me, we know more than anybody. We are more self-critical of ourselves than anybody else could ever be. So let that person know you are there, and that you will stick by them, and you will not judge. I have said, even just having them sent over like their favorite Starbucks drink or their favorite meal, letting them know that you love them. That's it. And if they let you come inside, if they want you to come and visit and say hello, just sit there. Unless they ask for it specifically, do not try to help them. Do not try to give them advice. Just be there. Because sometimes all we want is just, if we are isolating or we are having a really bad day, sometimes all we want is just somebody. Even if it's just sitting there watching TV. Just be there. Support them. Don't judge. Don't tell them they're doing it wrong. And for the people who are doing these actions, allow yourself to have bad days. Everybody has bad days, and especially those of us who already deal with issues with our mental state. You're allowed to have bad days. That's something that nobody really ever told me. They always made me feel bad if I had these deep, dark days to where it just didn't feel like it was worth going on. I was never told that it is okay to have these days. And it is. Just don't give in to them. Do what you need to do. Take the day off, turn your phone off, or do whatever you need to do in order to just kind of have a mental reset. If it takes you a day, if it takes you a week, do it. And everybody talks about self-love. Sometimes doing nothing is the most kind of self-love that you can do. If you're having one of those bad days, bad weeks, and don't feel like you have to do anything for anybody. Don't feel like you have to do this because, well, this person wants me to, or this person said go for a walk, so now I have to go for a walk. If you don't want to, damn it, don't do it. Because sometimes doing it can sap all of your energy and you end up feeling worse than you did before. So how does it help? It doesn't. People will always tell you how to deal with something because they feel like they know things better than you do. But that's not how it works. Because even with depression, anxiety, bipolar, borderline, anything like that, it's never the same. Nobody ever has the same symptoms. Even if you had the same symptoms, you might deal with it completely differently than somebody else. I deal with things by shutting down. I isolate, I shut down, and I do nothing because that is the only way I can make it through. Overwhelming myself with things that I should be doing makes it worse. Having people tell me that I'm not doing things correctly makes it worse. So yeah, sometimes there are days that I do not shower. I don't brush my teeth for a day or two. I don't eat healthy all the time. In these days, I'm doing what I have to do in order to survive. Bare minimum, survive. Even if it's just waking up, coming downstairs, sitting down in my chair, and watching YouTube all day. And I have to walk my dog, so I have to do that 3 times a day regardless, but I do the bare minimum to survive. And yeah, I mean, people are gonna say, well, that's selfish. I don't care. I've lived with mental illness for, let's see, I'm 35, so probably about 30 years. And it has evolved and it has changed, and I have changed, obviously. And you never really know how you're gonna react to something, ever. You don't know how you're gonna react until you're in there. And yeah, people may have been through depression, they may have been through this and that. And some of them, yeah, doing things and getting out there and getting outside of the house, that may have really truly have helped them. But people telling you that since you're not doing what they did to get better, that you're not trying to get better, it can make it worse. So if you're in a deep, dark hole, do what you have to do to survive. Because you will survive. And if you feel like you're not going to, reach out to anybody. Whether it be a doctor, whether it be a helpline, whether it be a friend, a family member, me, it does not matter. If you don't think you can get through it, reach out. You are not a burden. Even if somebody has literally told you that you are a burden, you're not. I promise. Nobody is ever a burden, despite what they're told. And I know one of my biggest problems whenever I was younger was just not reaching out. And then so whenever I finally did, especially whenever I was a teenager, just being told that I was selfish and that I was attention seeking. I was only doing things because I wanted attention and like that I wanted to outshine my siblings. I just don't first of all, I don't understand the thought process that would make somebody even jump to that kind of conclusion. So if you've been told that, I'm sorry. I truly, nobody deserves that. Ever. Nobody. And if you've told somebody that before, that they are only in it for attention, honestly, screw you. I hope you told that person that you're sorry and that you sure as hell made it up to them, because you probably did more damage than you will ever know. I don't care what you think that person was going through or what they weren't going through. It is not okay. Because I remember being there. It did more damage than that person will ever know. Be there for the ones you love. I don't understand how that is so difficult. If that person's a teenager, be there for them, believe them, help them. I don't care if you're their teacher. I don't care if you're their counselor, therapist. I don't care if you're just a person at the school. But especially if you're their parent or their guardian, be there. Get them the help they need as early as you can. Otherwise, they're going to end up a screwed up person like I am at 35 and still not knowing that they're loved. And still feeling like a burden, despite what anybody else says now. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. I don't care what a person has done. So, for the people who love someone with mental illness, don't try to snap them out of it. Don't do it. Support them. Ensure that you're there for them. And like I said, send them just something that would even just give them a spark of enjoyment. Just let them know that you love them. If you're the person inside of it, let people tell you that they love you. Let them know ways that they can help, even if it is just having them just be there. If they're trying to give advice and you don't want it, say, please just let me have my bad day. So, that was deep. I was not expecting that to go so deep and so long. That's what she said. Okay, so it is Halloween and I'm going to be doing nothing except for chilling on TikTok. But as always, if you ever need anything, you need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to help you get help, you need anything whatsoever, let me know. I have all of my social medias either in the description box or on my channel page, or just comment. I think I even have my email on my channel page. Let me know. Help is there. And it can truly help. It really can. Even if you think that nothing can help you, something can. And I want every single one of you to know that I love you. And I support you. And I'm here for you. And if you need to help someone, and you need advice on how to help them, let me know. Or just show them this video. Let them know it's okay to have a bad day. But until next time, I love you and I will see you all soon. Bye, guys.